It is possible to change or redirect a stream when a program is executed. As you learned in the previous video, standard input refers to the keyboard by default. You can change this using input redirection. This is a small program that uses scanf to read an integer. By default, the program will read an integer from the keyboard. First, we compile readint.c from the command line. Now we run the program. First, let's run the program by simply typing its name at the command line. I'll enter a number on the keyboard and press enter. The program prints the expected result. Here's a text file containing a single number. We are going to run readint so that it reads this number from the file instead of a number from the keyboard. To do that, we will use the less than symbol followed by the file name. Notice that the program no longer waits for any input from the keyboard. It reads the number from the file. This is what we call input redirection. We are redirecting standard input to read from the file number.txt instead of reading from the keyboard. In addition to input redirection, we can also perform output redirection. Output redirection causes the output of a program to go into a file rather than to the screen. This is a small program that uses printf to output a message. By default, the program will write the text to the screen. First, we compile outputprog.c from the command line. Now we run the program. First, let's run the program by simply typing its name at the command line. The output prints the expected result on the screen. Remember that what's happening is that the output is going to standard output, and standard output is being sent by default to the screen. Next, let's run the program again, this time using output redirection. To do so, we use the greater than symbol followed by a file name. Notice that we don't see the message. It wasn't printed on the screen. Instead, we can see the message inside the file, result.txt, that was used for output. Be careful with output redirection. If a file already exists and you use output redirection with that file name, the file will be overwritten. Input and output redirection are not C features. They're features of your operating system and are useful for a variety of programming tasks. For example, it's common to run programs that produce a lot of output. Instead of scrolling through the window looking for specific parts of that output, it can be convenient to use output redirection to save the results. Then you can view those results in a text editor. Input and output redirection do have limitations. The most important limitation is that only one file can be used for input or output redirection. It isn't possible, for example, to read from two different files by redirecting standard input. For this kind of flexibility, we require using C files, which we will cover in the next set of videos.